Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. When Manchester United host Fulham in the FA Cup on Sunday, Andre Onana is likely to find himself on the Old Trafford bench. United boss Ruben Amorim has honoured his predecessor Erik Ten Hag's pledge to go with backup goalkeeper Altay Bayindir in the cup games this season. But after his latest high-profile blunders, United number 1 Onana, who cost £43.8 million from Inter Milan in 2023, may start to find himself on the bench more often than he would like. In United's laboured 3-2 win over Ipswich, Onana was culpable for both goals conceded, guilty of basic mistakes that made the win more difficult than it needed to be. Those latest gaffes came on the back of mistakes in United's 2-2 draw at Everton, where Onana was at fault for their second, and in a 1-0 defeat at Tottenham, where he gifted a simple finish to James Maddison. For the first goal against Ipswich, after a mix-up with teammate Patrick Dorgu, Onana should have taken control of the situation, given he was the only one who could see the danger unfolding. With Dorgu running back towards his own goal, the young defender was perhaps unaware Ipswich's Jadon Sancho was breathing down his neck, which is when Onana should have taken over. Having raced off his line, Onana should have let Dorgu know the ball was his. Instead, confusion ensued, with Dorgu playing the ball beyond him, allowing Sancho to score into an empty net. If Onana was perhaps only partly culpable for that goal, he was entirely at fault for Ipswich's second, misjudging a routine cross from Sancho and allowing it to sail straight past him and into the net, even allowing for the distraction of Ipswich striker Liam Delap moving towards the ball. There was no excuse for Onana to deal with the cross and palm it away to safety, away from the danger area. But Onana's footwork for the second goal was calamitous, shifting to his right, then left, then repeating that sequence, meaning he was hopelessly out of position as the ball flew past him. Amorim was diplomatic when asked about Onana's latest mistakes, choosing not to admonish him and instead focus on the wider issue of culpability blighting his entire team. "We have to work on that," said Amorim. "We need to improve, not just Andre, but we have so many problems. If you see a lot of our players, in some games they make some mistakes that are important in terms of the result in that game. I don't want to point at just one player. We need to improve as a team." Whether Onana retains Amorim's long-term faith remains to be seen. United's more pressing need to address other areas of the team may mean a new keeper is not considered a priority in the summer. But if Onana continues to make basic mistakes that lead to goals, Bayindir may find he gets a run in the side when he returns from injury, and a new man between the posts may become an urgent need. Manchester United avoided serious embarrassment on Wednesday night as they edged out Ipswich Town. A 3-2 win at Old Trafford kept the heat off Ruben Amorim temporarily. A loss would have seen the team hit a new low, but their attention can now turn to the FA Cup. The tournament, where they are holders, is one of their two remaining hopes of landing silverware this term. They will face Fulham, who they beat just weeks ago, with another success potentially improving morale in what has been one of the club's worst seasons for decades. Amorim is not without his issues, though the attitude of Alejandro Garnacho has been called into question, with his manager ready to discuss it with the winger. Roy Keane has hammered captain Bruno Fernandes, as well as his teammates, labelling them bluffers as he let off steam in a full-blown rant. The Portuguese star has long been a divisive figure, with his quality twinned with an attitude that rubs people up the wrong way. Despite Fernandes' individual efforts, he's not been able to deliver a huge amount of success, and Keane is not a fan of some of his antics. He said on the Stick to Football podcast, "I see fans at matches and they're singing for Bruno. I see these boys and I think you're imposters." Ian Wright defended Fernandes, claiming he's led by example and suggesting that United may be in relegation battle if it wasn't for their skipper. However, that led to a fiery response from Keane, who said, "Talent is not enough. You keep going back to talent. Bruno's a talented player, but it's not enough." Liverpool icon Michael Owen believes that Garnacho is dispensable in Manchester. The Argentine made headlines on Wednesday evening, storming down the tunnel after being hauled off when his side went down to 10 men. His future at Old Trafford has been questioned in recent months, and he was linked with a move to Napoli, but United placed a £60 million price tag on him, and the Italians opted against pursuing the deal. Owen, who also played on the red side of Manchester, doesn't believe that the Argentinian has done enough to make himself integral to Amorim's plans. At the moment, he's not getting into the Manchester United side, Owen said. If he was that good, Ruben Amorim would consider him to be undroppable, even though he has been reportedly misbehaving. The club have made 5 of their young stars part of their first team plans under Amorim. Chido Obi, Sekou Kone, Ellie Harrison, Jack Morehouse and Tyler Fredrickson have all been recognised on the back of Manchester United's matchday programmes. United have needed to call upon their academy to help name their matchday squads due to the injury issues at Old Trafford. 7 of the club's young prospects were named on United's bench against Tottenham earlier in February. Several weeks on, and only Obi and 19-year-old goalkeeper Harrison were required for the win over Ipswich. Harrison was recently recalled from a non-league loan spell, and the Red Devils rejected loan inquiries for him in January as they wanted to further involve him in first-team training. Leny Yoro may still be 19, but showed his leadership qualities in a moment of hardship for a Manchester United teammate. The French teenager was only signed last summer after the Red Devils beat Real Madrid to his signature. His appearances have been limited since the move, however, with injuries restricting his opportunities. He was, though, given an opportunity to start as United took on struggling Ipswich at Old Trafford on Wednesday night. But less than 5 minutes into the encounter, the visitors found themselves in front thanks to a catastrophic error. Patrick Dorgu, signed in January for £30 million, was attempting to shield the ball back into the United area, only for goalkeeper Andre Onana to meet him at the corner of the box. Rather than clear the ball, though, Dorgu contrived to knock it past the on-rushing Onana, leaving Jadon Philogene with the easiest of chances to open the scoring. Dorgu stood disconsolate as Ipswich ran off to celebrate, but he wasn't alone for long as Yoro ran to his defensive colleague, embraced him and offered some words of encouragement. There was more of an inquest in the television studios, however, with a suggestion it was actually Onana at fault for the blunder. Working for TNT Sports, Robbie Savage said, "I'd love to hear Rio's Ferdinand view as a defender in that situation. The defender has got it under control. I don't think there is a reason why Onana should come out there. He should be talking, just lay it back to him on his right foot, then he can clear it. I don't know why he is coming. The defender is in control. Onana, stay in your goal." Fortunately for United, they quickly turned the game around through an own goal from Sam Morsy and a Matthijs de Ligt strike. However, Dorgu's 45 minutes of personal misery was compounded before the half-time whistle when he was shown red for a horror tackle on Omari Hutchinson. Dorgu initially escaped punishment before VAR advised referee Darren England to re-watch the incident on the pitchside monitor. After doing so, Dorgu was given his marching orders. Ferdinand said on the tackle, "It is actually a bad touch from Omari Hutchinson in the first place, and Patrick Dorgu is quick to challenge, but it is reckless. It is a straight leg challenge, and I don't think there can be any complaints." And Ipswich needed just a few minutes to capitalise on their numerical advantage as Philogene scored his second of the game in first half injury time. After the break, United managed to get themselves back in front as they scored from a set piece for the third time during the contest, this time through Harry Maguire.